Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are breaking down a system that's a total game changer. We're going to show you exactly how to stop stressing over every single penny and start automatically building your wealth. We're diving deep into the core concepts from Ramit Sethi's I Will Teach You to Be Rich. If you've ever felt totally overwhelmed by financial advice, or maybe kind of guilty every time you spend money on yourself, well, you are in the perfect place. Let's jump right in and clear up that financial clutter.
Picture this. You're at a party, right? And you're standing next to this group of, let's say, pretty out-of-shape gym goers. They are endlessly debating whether they should drink grape juice or apple juice for their metabolism. They're literally comparing smartwatch step counts and agonizing over the exact grams of protein they're eating. But what are they completely missing? The absolute basics. Just eating a normal, balanced diet and actually exercising more. Well, this is exactly how the vast majority of us handle our money. We get hyper-focused on these tiny, irrelevant details instead of looking at the big picture.
And that brings us to the financial equivalent of what we call the latte myth. You probably heard this advice a million times. Skip that monthly 2,000 rupee family lunch, or cut out your morning coffee so you can invest the savings. Or, people who agonize for days over moving their savings from an account offering 6.2% to one offering 6.3%. Look, it's an exhausting illusion. You are absolutely not going to get rich by stressing over a single family lunch or a fraction of a percent in interest. This obsession with the micro level actually prevents you from executing the high-impact financial decisions that truly build wealth.
It's what we call the ATM illusion. Think about a bank that feels incredibly environmentally friendly just because they stopped printing those tiny paper ATM receipts. Good for them, right? Yet in that exact same ATM kiosk, they are blasting 2 air conditioners 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in a room that is empty 99% of the time. Worrying about small details just creates a false sense of progress. You feel like you're doing something great for your finances, while the big picture, the running ACs, is quietly draining your resources.
Section 1. The reality. Focus on the big wins. So instead of cutting out your morning coffee, you need to execute these massive moves. And the absolute most crucial point is right at the top. Mercilessly killing high-interest personal debt. I'm talking about those 20% interest debt predators. It makes literally zero mathematical sense to try and earn a 10 or 15% return on your investments while you are actively bleeding 20% to a bank. Crush that debt first. Next up, negotiate your salary. Getting a 30% pay bump from a promotion pays you extra every single month for the rest of your career, and it usually just takes 1 or 2 conversations. Maximize your tax-advantaged retirement funds to harness the magic of compounding, start a side hustle, or build a business. These are the levers that actually move the needle. To actually build this into your life, you have to reverse the typical financial trap. Look at what most people do. They make their massive lifestyle expenses, like a huge car EMI or giant entertainment subscriptions, automatic and recurring. But when it comes to investing, they treat it like this manual, one-off decision. Maybe I'll buy some shares today if I feel like it. You need to flip that entirely. Make your investments automatic and recurring, like a monthly SIP, and force yourself to make those heavy lifestyle expenses the deliberate, manual decisions.
Section 2. The execution. Action over perfection. Now, this is exactly where so many people freeze up. They understand the big win, sure, but they get totally paralyzed waiting to find the absolutely perfect mutual fund or the most flawlessly designed broker app. And that brings us to a really life-changing concept, the 85% rule. Listen, being 85% right and taking immediate action today with a simple, low-cost index fund is infinitely better than doing absolutely nothing while you wait to be 100% perfect. In those first 4 to 5 years, the difference between the absolute best mutual fund and a standard index fund is basically negligible. Same goes for the apps. Stop wasting your time trying to be perfect. There's that famous Chinese proverb, the best time to invest was 10 years ago. The second best time is today. Notice what it doesn't say. It doesn't say the best time to invest is when you have massive amounts of capital. It doesn't say the best time is when you've achieved flawless financial knowledge. Wealthy people all share one common trait. They actually started investing, seriously and consistently. Please don't let a small starting balance of just a few hundred rupees stop you. The absolute most critical step you can take for your financial future is simply starting today.
Section 3. The system. Automate to overcome weakness. Let's just be totally honest with ourselves here. Human motivation naturally fades. You might watch this explainer, get incredibly pumped up today, and manually invest for a month or 2. But 6 months from now, you're going to get busy at work, you'll be stressed out, and you'll fall right back into binge-watching shows on the couch. So you must build a system that absolutely does not rely on your willpower. Here's how the automated flow works. Step 1. Your salary hits your daily expense account. Step 2, before you even see that money or have a chance to spend it, a specific portion is instantly auto-routed to a separate investment account. Step 3, any dividends generated from your stocks are automatically reinvested right back into the market. By automating everything, you completely bypass human weakness and guarantee that your future self is always funded first.
And having this automated clarity allows you to effortlessly divide up your salary. Here is a great target breakdown to aim for. 50% goes to your fixed costs, stuff like rent and groceries. 10% is automatically routed to your investments. Another 10% is tucked away into emergency savings. And then, check out that final slice, a massive 20% that is entirely for guilt-free spending.
Section 4. The reward. The art of conscious spending.
That 20% guilt-free slice we just talked about? That brings us to a concept that pretty much changes everything: conscious spending. See, wealth is not about hoarding your money in the dark, being completely miserable, and refusing to enjoy your life. Conscious spending means pinpointing exactly what truly brings you joy, and then unapologetically, confidently spending your money there, while ruthlessly slashing your budget on the things you really don't care about.
Let's look at how this actually plays out in the real world. Look at Jay on the left. Jay absolutely loves to travel, so he ruthlessly cuts his everyday costs by living at home, eating home-cooked meals, and taking public transport. Because he made those cuts, he can happily spend 10,000 rupees every single month exploring new places. Then on the right, we've got Monty. Monty really couldn't care less about travel, but he is obsessed with cars. He owns his home, cuts out dining and vacations entirely, and happily drops 10,000 a month on his dream car and taking long drives with his friends. Both of these guys are successfully living their own rich life because they prioritize.
But then, oh boy, then there's Sunny. Sunny looks at Instagram, sees Jay's amazing vacations and Monty's sweet sports car, and he decides, you know what? I deserve it all. So Sunny takes out massive, heavy loans to fund a giant mortgage, a luxury car EMI, and endless world tours. Suddenly, 50% of his salary vanishes instantly just to service his debt. By trying to have absolutely everything without prioritizing, Sunny is speeding straight toward total financial ruin.
And hey, this isn't just a problem for people with average salaries. Just look at multimillionaires like Mike Tyson or Rihanna. Early in their careers, they faced incredibly severe financial struggles. Why? Because they tried to buy absolutely everything without consciously prioritizing. As Rihanna's financial advisor famously told her after she tried to sue him, if you spend money on everything, you will end up with nothing. You have to consciously choose your priorities if you want to build and keep your wealth. So as we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with one massive thought. As you step out to execute your big wins, set up your automated wealth system, and finally cut through the daily financial clutter, ask yourself this: what is the one thing you love enough to spend extravagantly on? Figure that out, automate the rest of it, and start designing your own rich life today. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll catch you on the next one.